Hi, this is Phillip Day from the Campaign for Truth in Medicine, and you're listening to Up Close and Personal for August 2010. Lots to report this month. August is usually quite quiet, but not so you would notice. First of all, Campaign for Truth in Europe. Innocent student extradited to Greek prison hell under EU arrest warrant. The mother of the young man concerned warns, parents, be very afraid. This summer it could be your sons wrongly accused, yet you'll be powerless to stop their extradition and immediate detention. This is, of course, the EU-wide arrest warrant, whereby if you are on holiday now anywhere in Europe or anywhere in the Eurozone, and you commit a crime that's not necessarily a crime in Britain, then you can be extradited. There's nothing the UK Justice Service can do about it, and you can be taken out to a place like Greece or somewhere else, locked up for at least 9 months before your case comes to trial. This is a complete insult to modern civilization. And just remember, all your politicians have signed off on this, and the bovine acquiescence of the general population of Britain in general, many of you have been active of course, but generally the slate-faced ignorance of the British people has enabled this to come into force as the law of the land now. So now you are no longer protected under UK law from extradition for whatever reason. Fined £150 million for failing to fly the EU flag. Now British firms are told how to fight back. Companies receiving European grants must display its logo on their buildings, posters and websites, or being forced to pay back some of the funding. It's our money to start with a lot of the time, so we have to fly this blue and yellow rag in order to show our pleasure for having taken funds out of the European Union, which originated a lot of them in the UK. This next article is about the German doctor. Two sons of a man killed by a bungling German doctor face the prospect of swingeing fines and being prevented from talking to the media because of injunctions taken out by the doctor to protect his privacy. Just more of the same. So what we're seeing in these three articles in the Campaign for Truth in Europe is the European superstate is proceeding apace. We're very definitely past the point now of being able to do anything about this at all. So the only reason I'm really covering this in these bulletins is just to let you know the progress and the problems and how really to steer clear of them. Campaign for Truth in Medicine. 259 breast cancer screenings will save only one life. Breast cancer screening may be doing more harm than good, a study suggests. The review found 259 women would have to be screened to prevent one death, and many women would be wrongly diagnosed with life-threatening disease and undergo unnecessary treatment as a result. And this article doesn't even mention the damage that the radiation does to you anyway. So, I mean, if you've got to scan 259 women in order to save one life, and that, by the way, is highly debatable, all 259 women are going to have 1,000 times the rads of a chest x-ray shot into them with problems down the road. I'm not a fan of mammograms, absolutely not. If you want safe screening, infrared thermography, the best company to look at here is Meditherm, up on the screen, www.meditherm.com, and they've got various organisations and alumni worldwide. Infrared thermography is safe, there's no radiation, it provides a heat signature, so that's kind of handy for knowing where inflammation is occurring in the body. New cancer guidelines reverse decades of advice where patients were told to avoid exercise. Of course, one of the biggest myths out there is that if you've got cancer and you exercise, the movement somehow spreads the cancer. This is ignorance of not really understanding that cancer is a fermentation system which hates oxygen. And one of the most efficient ways of ridding the body of cancer and destroying the system that cancer depends on to thrive is to exercise. And also this week, Dr. Joseph McCullough's got the great exercise secret, and he covers peak performance training, which is one of the most efficient ways of getting oxygen into the body, and it doesn't take long to do. The fastest way to condition the body is not to spend hours and hours on a bike, but to do peak performance training, which actually varies your heart rate. Heart rate variability is perhaps the single greatest factor in preventing sudden death by heart attack. Not only that, but when we look at how the body can actually use oxygen to destroy the fermentation system cancer depends on to thrive, this is one of the most effective ways of doing it. Exercising up to about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate for 60 seconds, then rest for 90 seconds, then bring the heart rate up again for another 60 seconds, and so on for maybe half a dozen times a day. Doesn't take long to do, very, very effective. Do you take any of these 11 cholesterol drugs? Over 900 studies now show these dangerous drugs are linked to cancer, sexual dysfunction, muscle weakness, cognitive decline, Lou Gehrig's disease, and much more. Statins are a complete waste of time. Firstly, you have the major side effect issues involved. Secondly, they do not correct the reason why you've got cholesterol building up in the arteries in any case. There are two sources of this cholesterol coming in. Number one is dietary, just high-fat diets, predominantly animal fats. Number two, LDL cholesterol, what we call LPA, lipoprotein A, which is a type of fat that's generated in the arteries to actually protect the arteries from degradation because you are vitamin C deficient. It's a type of scurvy, if you will. And we've covered this at length in Health Wars and in the new Affairs of the Heart video that we've got out now that you can watch for free online. Fast food outlets could provide statin drugs free of charge so that customers can neutralize the heart dangers of fatty foods while they eat their favorite snacks. The idiots are still out there, but they're now armed with PhDs. The whole idea here that you're some way going to medicate yourself as you're feeding yourself is frankly laughable and just shows the extent to which the whole system's out of control. There's a whole article here, by the way, on lowering cholesterol, and it takes major skill to be able to write a whole article on lowering cholesterol without mentioning diet once. If you've got cholesterol concerns, and by the way, you need to not only look at the total cholesterol count, but also the ratio of triglycerides to HDL and the HDL to the LDL. If you don't want to be bothered with all that, just change the diet so that you're on a majority plant-based diet, the vast majority eaten raw, and you will correct yourself over time. When I was in my early 20s, I had high cholesterol readings which were brought down rapidly using a 100% plant-based diet, the majority eaten raw. In fact, this is the way I eat most of the time. And I'm not a dogmatic vegetarian. I don't actually view myself as being vegetarian. If my wife says enough lettuce already, let's go have a curry, we go and have a curry. But don't give me any old tosh about it doing me any good. When we look at meat, meat's bad news when it comes to nutrition. And this has been, there are over 500 studies I've dug out that show this, and we cover some of this in the Affairs of the Heart film. But having said that, every now and then I like a piece of chicken. Every now and then I like to be able to go and have my favorite Mexican dish. It's about degree, and it's about what you're doing most of the time. So being consistent about this is what's winning through. Robert Palmer, the British rock singer, died suddenly of a heart attack aged 54 at the luxury Paris Warwick Hotel. Jim Fixx, the famous marathon runner, collapsed aged 52 while out jogging and died of a massive heart attack. Autopsy revealed extensive heart disease with coronary artery blockages of 99%, 80% and 70%. Lou Costello, the cherubic half of the 1940s-50 comedy team of Abbott and Costello, died aged 52 of a heart attack. Tommy Cooper, the famous British comedian, collapsed from a heart attack in front of millions of television viewers in 1984. Eric Morecambe, one half of the British Morecambe and Wise comedy duo, died of a heart attack in 1984. Sid James, the famous comedian of the Carry On team, died of a heart attack. Lucille Ball, Hollywood actress, died during heart surgery, age 77. So heart disease, major scourge. If you've not seen the Affairs of the Heart online presentation and seminar, do sign up for it. Look in the left-hand column of this bulletin, and you can just click on there and sign up for it. These are very, very straightforward things that you can do to avoid dying badly. And it's worth looking at your pasture animals. None of our pasture animals are dropping dead of human diseases, and yet our dogs and cats do, because their food is majority cooked and it's chronically deficient in nutrients. Some of you wanted me to reprint that It's Enough to Break Your Heart article on this whole subject. Do take a look at it. The main problems with heart disease these days: bad diet and dietary fats, the cooking of food which destroys vitamin C and other nutrients. Coffee, heavy levels of coffee can produce problems because of the adrenaline that's generated. Stress, of course, which generates adrenaline. Smoking, which just sucks all the vitamin C right out of your body, lack of exercise, vitamin D deficiency. Mike Anderson's done an excellent study on this, by the way, at rev.wmv. He shows that prior to 1900, the breakdown of the diets among ordinary working people were as follows: animal products 5%, refined foods 0%, plant-based foods 95%. Post 1960, look how these figures change. Animal products 42%, refined foods 51%, plant-based foods tumble all the way down to just 7%. And guess what the body uses to make more of you with? Plant-based foods. So diabetes is incurable. US comedy expert Drew Carey, age 52, has actually reversed his type 2 diabetes. He's done it with diet. There's been several studies out recently showing how diet and changing diet reverses type 2 diabetes. Many of the clinics, like Hippocrates and others like that, will put type 2 diabetics onto an exercise program, 100% plant-based diet, and they can reverse diabetes in this fashion. There's a whole roundup here on resveratrol, this wonder nutrient that's contained in certain types of fruits, specifically grapes. Resveratrol is a super nutrient, natural compound found in red wine, grapes, blueberries, peanuts and other plants, has been found to promote longevity and health in a variety of ways, so you can read all about that. Naturalnews.com has given us some ammunition for our monthly vitamin D roundup. Vitamin D reduces diabetes, high blood pressure, preeclampsia and pregnancy by 30%. The further north you live, the more vitamin D deficient you likely are. Vitamin D prevents heart disease. Vitamin D is essential for activating the immune system. Vitamin D is more effective than vaccines at preventing flu. Vitamin D improves overall immune function, and there's a call now for the sunshine vitamin D to be put in milk to help beat cancer. So optimizing vitamin D levels is very, very important. We've been banging that drum for a little bit as well. So if you're not sure about this or you're new to these bulletins, pick up a copy of my book, The Essential Guide to Vitamin D, and find out more about that. The latest version, the new version of the ABCs of Disease, which was launched earlier in the year in Australia, will now become available in the UK and elsewhere around the world with effect from the 4th of September. This is a bang-up-to-date ABCs of Disease with some new disease classifications in it. So if you want to know the latest, what's come out since the original version of that book came out in 2004, pick up a new copy of that. We are taking advanced orders on that now, so if you want to place your order, go ahead. The Victory Tour, first talk, these are basically workshops. These are going to be disease workshops around the UK, which will run from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. There's a huge amount of material. I'm going to be covering new stuff. We're going to be taking apart the top 25 diseases, and we kick off in Norwich. 4th of September, I have to apologise to Norwich for missing you out last tour. Norwich, 4th of September, so if you've not got your tickets, come along, it's going to be a great day. And after that, in fact, here are the other dates that are coming up over the next month or so, and we will be going over to Ireland to do this. On the 23rd of October, there's an all-day cancer event at the Tara Towers Hotel in Dublin. That's the 23rd of October, that will run from 10 o'clock through to 4:30. So do log on to find out where the closest victory workshop is to you. And Australia, we're putting together dates now for 2011. This will be the Victory Tour coming down under, where again we're going to be looking at the top 25 diseases, and we're going to be taking them apart with the latest scientific studies that are out. This is absolute tremendous news. I'm very excited about this talk and I can't wait to do it, so should catch up with you then. That's it for now, nothing else to report. Do continue to spread the word. We're getting loads of new sign-ups, and that's we're able to get a lot of new information out to people, so thank you for doing that. And if there's anything my staff or I can do for you in the meanwhile, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. For now, have a fantastic August and September, and we'll catch up with you next month. Bye-bye.